Have you ever felt a deep connection with a man where things are flowing, he seems really into you, but then without warning, something shifts? Maybe he starts pulling back, growing distant, or worse, choosing someone else. And in that moment, a quiet, haunting question creeps in. What does she have that I don't? Did I do something wrong? Was it something she did, or was the connection never what I thought it was? Most women assume men choose women based on chemistry, physical attraction, or timing. But the truth is, although chemistry and attraction matter, conscious and emotionally available men commit for deeper reasons that most people don't ever talk about. And emotionally unavailable men, well, they follow an entirely different script. So here's where we get stuck. We try really hard to be chosen instead of asking the real question, is he even the right guy for me? Because if he's unsure, inconsistent, or keeping you in the gray zone, is he actually someone worth investing in? So today, I'm going to share what makes a conscious man see you as his future, the four most important factors that shape his commitment, even if he can't fully express them himself, and when him choosing someone else is actually a blessing in disguise. And finally, how to shift from why didn't he pick me to was he ever the right guy for me in the first place? Now, imagine, if you will, you're at an auction, watching two bidders go back and forth over something seemingly valuable. You've done your research and you think it's worth the investment, so you keep raising your little paddle, offering more, expecting that moment when the other bidder, who happens to be a woman, will back down. But then something weird happens. The auctioneer looks right past you and hands the win to the other bidder instead of you, even though you were willing to offer just as much, maybe even more. So you sit there, stunned, confused, thinking, what did she have that I didn't? Was it something about the way she played the game? Did she know some secret strategy? Or was the decision made before I even walked into the room? See, dating can feel the same way. When you meet someone and feel an emotional connection or an instant connection before you know it, you can get emotionally invested and even attached. So watching him choose someone else hurts a lot, and you're left wondering, why her? What did I miss? It's a mind-blowing experience. So here's my first invitation to you. I want you to start asking a better question. And that question is he really who I made him to be in my mind? Because when you stop ruminating over why he picked someone else and start courageously, because it requires courage, looking at whether he was ever your best choice to begin with, everything starts shifting. You stop chasing answers, stop overanalyzing, and start seeing relationships for what they truly are: a mutual, connected decision, not a competition. Now, here's the thing. A man can enjoy you and be attracted to you and still not be available for the kind or depth of relationship you want. So before we talk about what's going to make a conscious man truly commit to you, let's get clear on some red flags you may have missed in the past. Number one, if he's hot and cold, breadcrumbing, inconsistent, or keeps you in the gray zone, he's not actually choosing, he's orbiting. If he's more interested in the chase than the connection, he was never looking for something real. If he makes you feel like you have to prove your worth to him, you weren't being seen, you were being tested. Now, if he's excited when it's easy but pulls back or disappears when emotional depth is required, he's not building a relationship. He's enjoying an emotional distraction. If he talks about the future but rarely or ever actually moves forward it, he's keeping you emotionally invested without truly committing. Now, if any of this sounds familiar, the question from my heart to yours is not why didn't he pick you, but why were you emotionally investing in someone who wasn't really choosing you? Now, here are four conscious reasons why an emotionally attuned man, an intelligent guy, chooses one woman over another, not just initially, but for the long term. And the reason why I'm sharing them isn't for you to feel like you've done something wrong or to blame yourself for not having what you want right now, but so that you have a guidepost that you can move yourself through in the future. Number one is emotional safety, the freedom to be himself. There's a moment every conscious man feels and deeply craves. And that is the moment he realizes he doesn't have to filter himself with her. He can just be. He doesn't have to be on. He doesn't have to perform. He doesn't have to impress. He doesn't have to calculate the perfect response to keep her interested. He can share his feelings and his thoughts without second guessing if he's going to be misunderstood. He can admit his fears without feeling weak, the way she creates emotional openness for him. He can express emotions without worrying that she's going to be passive aggressive or pull away. So what does emotional safety look like? Well, when he shares something vulnerable, she lets it land instead of immediately offering a response or a solution or minimizing it. If he has a bad day, she doesn't take it personally or assume it's about her. She doesn't punish him for honesty. If he courageously admits he's unsure about something or he doesn't want something, she trusts that his honesty is a foundation for growth, not a threat. For a man who is truly ready for a deep connection, this isn't just attractive, it's irreplaceable. Now, the second reason is their nervous systems sync in a way that feels effortless. Some connections feel like home not because they're boring, but because they're easy in just the right way. When he is with her, his body relaxes, not because he's indifferent, but because the energy between them feels naturally aligned. This happens because she doesn't outsource her emotional state to him. She trusts the connection instead of controlling it. She matches his energy with presence, not performance. A conscious man may not be able to consciously articulate why he's drawn to one woman over another, but his body will feel it and know it. Now, before I share my last 2 points, which are really useful to know and practice, if you're a single woman watching this, I'd be willing to bet you're not aware of the root cause why you're still single. So what I've done is I've taken 14 years of on the ground working with hundreds of women, helping them to attract their ideal life partners, and put together a quiz you can take in about 60 seconds that will reveal to you the real reason why you're still single. So if you want to participate, all you have to do is go to the first link on the description of this video. You're going to find a page that looks like this, answer a few very simple questions, and within 60 seconds, you're going to get 2 things. The answer to the elusive question why you're still single, and a custom report based on your unique blind spot that's going to share with you the number one thing you can do starting today to attract the guy you want in a fraction of the time. Third reason he will choose a woman over another is she inspires him to be his best self without pressure or demands. Now, a conscious man doesn't commit because a woman needs him to grow. He commits to the woman who inspires him to grow. It's a big difference. She upholds her own standards even if she really likes him. She calls him forward, not out. She lives in alignment with what she asks for, so she walks her talk. Number 4, she communicates honestly without drama or suppression. This is so key. A conscious man values a woman who expresses what she feels without turning it into a battle or burying it in silence, because guys really want to know what's going on. So instead of saying, "You never make time for me," she says, "I miss you and I'd love to spend more time together. Can we do that?" Instead of shutting down, if he were to withdraw, she names what she's feeling. "Hey, I noticed you've been quieter today. Is something on your mind?" She doesn't just wait for something to show up, she pulls it out. Instead of, "Wow, I guess I'm not a priority," she says, "I was really looking forward to this. Can we figure out another time?" See, if a guy is truly choosing you, you are not going to have to decode it. You will know. And if he isn't, the real power isn't in figuring him out, it's in realizing and recognizing that you're free. If he's not choosing you, it's not about her being better than you. It never was. It's about seeing the truth you may have been avoiding. You may not be as compatible with him as you thought you were, or you were never really being chosen in the first place. It's so easy to fall prey to your nervous system and feel rejected and start believing that when somebody doesn't choose you, that there's something wrong with you, that you really missed out on something. And one of the real key messages I want to land on this video is that many times we confuse emotional intensity with longevity of a relationship or compatibility. So my invitation to you right now is to step into the abundance of knowing that on this planet there's roughly 4 billion men. And I'm not saying that the majority of them would be a fit for you, but I happen to believe that there's a few more than just this dude that could be an amazing partner for you, especially if you don't fall for the trap that this is the best thing that could have happened to you and you don't take this personally. Sometimes it takes one door closing on your face and maybe a bit of a time wait for thousands of other doors opening to you. And when you reach that green pasture that you thought this guy was, when you reach that new relationship where someone really meets you where you are, then in that moment, it's revealed to you in heart and soul why this last thing didn't work. So this is one of those times where you need to step into faith, not hope, but faith. And faith, as the amazing Tagore invited us to step into, which is faith is the bird that sings to the dawn when the night is still dark. So the real power isn't in decoding his mixed signals, trying to understand why he picked someone else. It's in realizing you're free from wanting, free from proving, free from pouring your energy into someone who was never fully meeting you. And the moment you embrace that freedom, the right guy won't just see your worth, he'll be ready to meet you there. Now, if you find this is helpful, useful, and insightful, it means the world to me and to my channel, because this is the only way I can grow and reach more women. If you click like and subscribe, maybe share this with someone who might benefit from this. And if you want to continue learning how you can attract the relationship you want without the need for gimmicks, manipulation, games, or stupid techniques, make sure to go to the next video right here.